Hello students, welcome to the pole science class of class 9, and today we will continue the same topic that we read in the previous day, and the topic was the making of the Indian Constitution. After that we read about the path to Constitution, and we had completed up to this portion, the Constitution. So we will today proceed from here. Clear? That day we read about, the last para was about how Motilal Nehru and 8 other Congress leaders already drafted a constitution way back in 1931. That means before forming the Constituent Assembly in 1946, just way before that, before 15 years or so, they had already thought of making constitution. So we read up to this line. So let's proceed then. The familiarity with political institutions of colonial rule also helped develop an agreement over the institutional design. The British rule had given voting rights only to few. On that basis, the British had introduced very weak legislatures. So the familiarity with political institutions of colonial rule also helped develop an agreement over the institutional design. So whatever the types of political institution were there in the British rule, that was actually helping us to what? To develop an agreement over the institutional design. Whatever the way of running the country was there during the British rule, it was actually helping to develop an agreement over this design, whatever the institutional design were there. The British rule had given voting rights only to a few. That means what? The British at that time, before 1947, when the British was ruling India, they were not giving voting rights to each and everyone living in the country. They were only giving voting rights to a few, whom they thought if they give the voting rights to them, this will be beneficial to them. On that basis only they had given voting rights to only few persons. On that basis the British had introduced very weak legislatures. So in this way what happened? You can say that it was the British actually, by giving voting rights to very few number of persons, they were actually introducing a very weak type of legislatures. That means whatever the opinions and views of the people were actually mattered at that time, that was not actually coming to their way. Why? Because if out of 100% you give only voting rights to 10, suppose, if the other 90 are remaining and they are not given the voting rights, then it will lead to what? Whatever the views and opinions of all the people will not come as a fruitful purpose. Clear? So in this way it was giving what? A weak legislature. Elections were held in 1937 to provincial legislatures and ministries all over British India. So whatever the voting rights that were given after that, elections were held in 1937. To which area? Actually the provincial legislatures and ministries all over British India. So that time when the British was ruling India, that was known as British India. So elections were held in the year 1937, but not to all the parts, but firstly to the provincial legislatures, whatever the province or areas were there, at that areas only these elections were held, and after that all the ministries all over British India. But ministries elections were held all over British India, and along with that provincial areas were also included in these elections of 1937. These were not fully democratic governments, but the experience gained by Indians in the working of legislative institutions proved to be very useful for the country in setting up of its own institutions. So whatever the elections were held in 1937, this you can say that this was not democratic governments. Democratic governments means they were not democratic in nature. Why? One question might come. Because if you will give out of 100 people, if you give only voting rights to only few, that means 10 or 20 in number, if the other 80 are left out, then it cannot be said as the democratic form of government. Because in democratic form of government, everyone enjoys rights to vote. When they attend at a certain age, they come to a certain age, they enjoy the right to vote. But in this British India, this was not happening. So for that reason it was told that it was not fully democratic in nature. But if it was not democratic in nature also, then also it gave a good experience. What experience does it give actually? The experience gained by Indians in the working of legislative institutions proved to be very useful for the country and setting up of its own institution. Suppose you think that if many Indians were there who were actually working in this legislative institution, that means during the elections also, before the elections also, some planning has to be done. So many Indians were involved in this planning and setting up of legislative institution. So whatever the Indians were actually involved in this working, they gained what? They gained experience. And this experience was actually benefited when this experience was actually utilized. Can you say this? Whatever the experience these Indians gained while working during the British time, this was actually utilized after the independence of India. That means when India gained independence in 1947, and when they themselves were ready to prepare their own constitution, at that time these all experiences that they had gathered during the British time, these had actually proved to be very useful, and they had some ideas also that how to prepare constitution and how to conduct elections. All these things they had gained earlier only. Through what? Through working with the British. So these were what all the pre-experience that they had gathered working in the British time. Clear? After that is why the Indian Constitution adopted many institutional details and procedures from colonial laws like the Government of India Act. So why it is said so that the previous experience actually gave them benefits? Because whatever the things are included in the Indian Constitution after independence, many of the constitutions details are being brought up from the earlier laws. One such law that is being carried forward from the previous British India's laws was whatever it is included in the constitution is the Government of India Act 1935. By the year only you can see here that it is before the independence. So this kind of institutional details and procedures were carried from the colonial laws. Colonial laws means when India was under British India. At that time only this Government of India Act was passed in 1935, and some details and procedures are being carried forward to our constitution after when our constitution was made. Actually at that time, this one of the example is this, like this many institutional details and procedures have been included. One example of such is Government of India Act 1935. Clear? Years of thinking and deliberation on the framework of the constitution had another benefit. Our leaders gained confidence to learn from other countries but on our own terms. Clear? First benefit was learning under the British. They had worked so much under the British, some Indians worked, and that benefited in making the constitutional works easy for them because they had pre-experience of that thing. Secondly, another benefit what it was given, that years of thinking and deliberation on the framework, they had thought so much about how to prepare constitution that will actually benefit the people of India. In that terms only, whatever our leaders gained, what? They gained confidence to learn from other countries but on our own terms. Whatever they had learned, our leaders, or we can say the Indians who was working with the British or who were working under the British at that time, they had gained confidence also, and they learned so many things from other countries also. But while learning, they learned that thing on their own terms. That means they did not went beyond their capability, but was up to their own terms and conditions was there only. The Indian leaders' terms and condition was there. After that only they learned many things from many countries. On the other hand, if you remember, our constitution is also called as the borrowed constitution, because many things or many provisions are carried out from many countries and is being included in the Indian constitution. So this has come from here only. That means as they learn from many other countries how the constitution must be prepared, so in that way only they have added many provisions under that. Many of our leaders were inspired by the ideals of French Revolution, the practice of parliamentary democracy in Britain, and the Bill of Rights in the US. So as I told you earlier that our constitution is also known as borrowed constitution. So why is it so? Because while the leaders were learning so many things from the other countries, the two main things that they were actually very inspired by was, the first one was they were very inspired by the ideals of French Revolution. And according to French Revolution, what it was like, during the French Revolution, the parliamentary democracy was there in Britain, which our leaders liked very much. Clear? That means if they are liking this parliamentary democracy in Britain, our leaders are also thinking of this parliamentary democracy, that it should be included in the Indian constitution only. So in this way also this kind of things were included in our own constitution. And secondly, what our leaders like the most, the Bill of Rights in the US. Clear? So they took two things. As an example, I am saying there are many things that are being borrowed from the other constitution also, but these two were actually our leaders were very much inspired. First one was the parliamentary democracy of Britain, and the other was the Bill of Rights in the US. Clear? The socialist revolution in Russia had inspired many Indians to think of shaping a system based on social and economic equality. After that, it went on to get inspired by the Russian model. Clear? First it was inspired by the French model, then by the US model. Now they were also inspired by the Russian model. And according to the Russian model, what was it like? What was the system like? In Russian model, the system was like what? The system was based on social and economic equality. That means what? The society will also be treated as equal, and economic equality will also be given. That means no rich, no poor, all will be same, and in that way society will also develop. So they were also inspired by this model. Yet they were not simply imitating what others had done. At each step they were questioning whether these things suited our country. All these factors contributed to the making of constitution. So just think, our leaders, how much they have worked hard to make the Indian constitution. Firstly, they gained experience. After that, they included this Government of India Act 1935 under the constitution. After that, they were very much impressed with the three things that were actually connected to the other countries, that were of the parliamentary democracy in Britain, the Bill of Rights of the US, and the social and economic equality of the Russian model. But it was not like that. If they are inspired by this, they will directly include this in their constitution. What they were doing, they were putting both the sides, both the negative and positive sides. If they are to be included in the constitution, they were looking at both the sides of the coin. That means they were eyeing at the negative end also, and they were eyeing at the positive end also. They were not simply copying and pasting it in their constitution, but before that they were looking, and they were also questioning whether these things will suit our country or not. This was a big thing that they were doing, because a country like USA, Britain and Russia might be bigger or small in terms of area, and bringing that things in their constitution cannot be done at a once. And to judge that thing, what has to be done, each and every step has to be questioned. Actually, this has to be seen if it will suit, or if it is suiting our country or not. If it is being brought to our country, India, these few things, if it is brought or included in our constitution, this will suit or not. This they were also, our leaders were thinking so much before including this in the constitution. So all these factors contributed to the making of our constitution. So the pain and the hard work that our leaders were doing actually, so you can say that all this hard work and pain only contributed to the making of our constitution. So it was not easy to make the Indian constitution. So much of pain and so much of hard work our leaders were going through before including each and everything in the constitution. So that why they were eyeing so many things, why they were seeing both the positive and negative aspects of the things, because they were thinking that whatever the points or whatever the procedures are included in the Indian constitution, this should benefit all sections of the society. For these only they were having so much of pain in making the constitution. Clear? So with this we have come today to the end of the topic, and whatever the points I had made you understand today, I think that it is very much clear. So with this I am winding up today's topic, and in the next topic we will start from the Constituent Assembly, that is of 1946. Thank you.